Well, part of what I do on this channel is keep you up to date. And apparently, the largest data breach in history just happened, affecting 1.2 billion people. Social media accounts, experts are saying to check your bank account now. This is actually crazy. Over a billion Facebook users have had their private account information taken in one of the largest breaches in social media history. This is nuts. It's also fortuitous that I have Aura as a sponsor for today because it's a product that I use and that I've used for a long time. If you've ever wondered how scammers get your phone number or why your inbox is flooded with spam, this is why. There are companies called data brokers that sell your data, and well, we're going to take a look at just how much Facebook just leaked out. But cleaning it up is really difficult. That's why I've been using Aura for many months now, and that's why I always publicly endorse it. Even though they are a sponsor, I use it and I love it, and I sleep a lot better at night. Aura is all-in-one digital security. You may already have a digital security tool, but not having Aura is like locking the front door but leaving the back door open. You get alerts in real time if your personal information is found on the dark web. You have 24/7 monitoring to keep your identity secure, real-time fraud alerts for credit and banking, US-based support, which is always great, around the clock if something ever goes wrong. And if something were to go wrong, or it also includes $5 million in identity theft, insurance protection, and they have the US fraud experts ready to help 24/7. Try Aura 14 days for free at my link in the description down below. It's aura.com/thequartering. In those 2 weeks, you'll discover plenty about where your data is, and you'll feel better almost immediately using Aura like I do. Link in the description. Now, this is an article from today, 9 a.m. this morning. What a coincidence. Over a billion Facebook users just had their private account information stolen in one of the largest data breaches in social media history. A cyber criminal using the alias Bytebreaker claims to have scraped 1.2 billion Facebook records and is now selling the data on the dark web. Scraping or web scraping involves using automated tools to collect large amounts of data from websites, similar to copying and pasting information, but doing it at scale. This is kind of like what AI is doing right now with videos. People like me, jobs like, that I have, we're being replaced by AI, things like that. You have 267 million, this is back in December, mostly American Facebook user IDs, names, phone numbers, and more were exposed online and shared in the dark web. Mostly American, by the way. That happened back in December. Cybersecurity researchers at Cyber News revealed that stolen data includes name, user ID, email address, phone numbers, birth dates, gender information, such as your local location data, city, state, and country. Basically anything that you would have had, publicly on your Facebook now is getting compiled and sold. Expect spam to go up. And it's, usually it's been a long time, but there was a long time there where I couldn't even open my inbox because I was getting so much spam. A verified Bytebreaker's trove would represent the largest single data scraping incident from social media platform to date. Officials are urging all Facebook users to change their passwords, freeze their credit, and activate fraud alerts on their bank accounts. They warn that the data set scraped by Bytebreaker contains enough information for cybercriminals to open credit cards in victims' names or access their financial accounts. Bytebreaker shared a sample of 100,000 user records on the dark web to prove they have the data. However, both Facebook and cybersecurity experts are questioning if the cyber thief actually has what they claim. A spokesperson from Meta told the Daily Mail that the stolen information Bytebreaker as allegedly has is actually from 2021 Facebook breach involving more than 500 million users. This is from 2021, so it's not a new claim. We disclosed this years ago and have taken steps to prevent similar incidents from happening. I like how ho-hum they are. Oh yeah, that was only when they got 500 million. That was just back when we screwed over 500 million people. Now, granted, what I always tell people is, I use Aura, but before that, I can't remember what I used. I used something else. it's always good to basically have credit monitoring in place, but also know that that can create some problems when you go out and you want to get a loan or whatever like that. You have extra steps to do, but it's certainly better than having your bank card stolen and have somebody drain your bank account or whatever the case may be. According to researchers from HackRead, some of the data in the 100,000 user sample posted on the dark web is from the 2021 breach, so it's possible they're trying to pass off old data as new. Cyber experts added that Bytebreaker claimed that their dark web ad that 1.2 billion accounts were stored in 200 million rows. In databases, however, each row represents one user's complete name, email, etc. So 1.2 billion records should need 1.2 billion rows, not 200 million, adding even more skepticism to the hacker's story. So we have Bytebreaker here saying, today I've come with the newest Facebook database, which has been scraped using one of their APIs, samples of the 100K. Feel free to compare full database purchase inquiries, talk to this person. If, it would surpass a 700 million LinkedIn scrape and 533 million Facebook breach back in 2021. Scraping data uses features meant to help people violate our terms. We have teams across the country working to detect and stop these behaviors, Meta wrote in a statement back when it happened in 2021. Yeah, urgent warning to all 1.8 billion iPhone users. There's all this crazy stuff. Now, some of these things, it was fortuitous that I did have an Aura ad today that I saw this article. I was like, well, obviously I'll put it in there. But you got to be careful when you're reading some of these articles because, sometimes they're nothing burgers. Certainly having 1.2 billion records or even the 500 billion is just a good time. Or 500 million, sorry. Only 500 million. Here, hackers can hijack your iPhone, Mac, or car through Apple's AirPlay thanks to a devastating set of flaws dubbed Airborne. This is back from a whole 4 days ago. The team at Oligo Security discovered 23 vulnerabilities in AirPlay, which allow users to stream audio, video, and photos from Apple devices to other smart devices. After discovering those flaws, tech researchers revealed 17 ways they could be exploited by hackers to remotely attack billions of devices that use wireless streaming technology. The 17 issues represent different ways hackers can exploit AirPlay, each requiring specific software fixes to protect devices from threats like remote takeovers, data theft, or malware spreading across networks. The airborne flaws allow zero-click attacks where hackers can harm devices without any user action, such as Mac OS exploit that secretly replaces the Apple Music app with malicious code. Apple patched its devices with security updates like iOS 18.4 and Mac OS Sequoia 15.4 and tvOS 18.4 on March 31st. However, tens of millions of third-party AirPlay devices remain vulnerable without timely manufacturer updates. This is one thing I try to tell people. Keep your stuff up to date. As a Tesla owner too, it's obviously something that that I think about. Always keeping them up to date. The second a new Tesla update comes, I'm like, oh my God, it'd be like, like iRobot, where the car turns against him, I think, or whatever it was. To stay safe, disable AirPlay devices in receivers, in device settings, and restrict access to current user. Installing security software on Apple devices further reduces risks from AirPlay's constant background broadcasting. As a general rule, if you have an iPhone, today is a good day. If you don't use AirPlay constantly, just turn it off. When you want to use it, you can just turn it back on. I'm actually this paranoid with Bluetooth and Wi-Fi on my phones. If I'm not using Bluetooth at the moment, I don't have it on. If I'm not using Wi-Fi, I don't have it on. Not only does it save my battery, but, turning it on takes 1 second, and, I might use it 10 minutes or 20 minutes a day. So the other, 23 hours and 40 minutes of the day, no one can kind of just grab my, access my device or connect to my phone. I always when I'm in the airport and I open up, when I want to use internet, I will use a mobile hotspot on my phone. And it always cracks me up when I open it and there's 20 open phones that are sharing their internet with no passwords, Airborne also targets smart speakers and CarPlay-enabled infotainment systems, allowing hackers to execute harmful actions without the user even interacting with their device. The attacks can act like a network worm, automatically spreading to other devices on public networks like Wi-Fi. putting more systems at risk. This is from 4 days ago. You know, until iPhone rolls out an update, I would probably leave this off unless, you know, you're using it at the time. This Facebook data scraping thing, again, you don't have to use Aura, but I would recommend using something that, you know, actively removes you from these lists and actively searches and gets rid of this, you know, you on these lists. Ever since I've been using it, my spam's gone way down. My spam phone calls have gone way down, except from the Trump administration. But yeah, also it's always good, you know, I'll say this to wrap this up. You know, it's always a good time. Today is always a good day to update your passwords. So changing your email passwords, freezing your credit is a little extreme, but you could do that. Consider updating your passwords for accounts that use the same email or phone number that has been taken from Facebook. Also, really strongly recommend enabling two-factor authentication on things like your bank and all this other kind of stuff. That makes it much more difficult for these people to get in and get after your software or get into your accounts. So keep that stuff in mind. I hope you were informed by this video. Make sure to take this weekend to secure all your data, update your passwords. It's a great long weekend to do it. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll talk to you again real soon.